Let's look at some news outside of the question time arena now. And this extraordinary breach for Optus customers, you get that sense that this is only the start. There is a long way to go here, given how many people have potentially been affected.
And we'll see some new cybersecurity laws out of this. The Optus hacking scandal rolls on, and Sky News can reveal that moves by former Communication Minister Paul Fletcher's department were responsible for Optus not being required to test their cybersecurity as much as other critical industries in the lead up to this hack. Optus submitted to the Morrison Government in 2020 for an effective leave pass from some aspects of the proposed critical infrastructure security legislation, which required power and water companies and the like to do vulnerability tests on their systems. Its submission to the government said the proposed new critical infrastructure laws are likely to add to the currently high commercial stresses on the communications industry. The bill should be dovetailed with existing provisions for the telecommunications industry. Ultimately, the telco was successful in that they were included in the legislation, but given a leave pass in terms of some of the requirements around risk management, including penetration testing by the government. That's my understanding. Now, Mr Fletcher, now manager of opposition business, he was Communications Minister, and he worked for Optus before he entered politics, responded to questions from Sky News by saying that, and I quote, "While it is true that the telcos meet certain obligations under SOCI, by meeting their existing requirements under the telecommunications sector security reforms, this can be overridden by the Minister for Home Affairs, who has a power to require the telcos to comply with these two obligations directly under SOCI." There was an orthodox policy development process in which submissions were made by multiple companies, including many telcos and their industry peak body, and any suggestion there was some kind of special deal for Optus is entirely baseless, but they didn't seem to have as stringent rules as the power and water companies. Meanwhile, today, the blame game between government and Optus continued, with Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neill saying overnight that Optus had left a window open for the hackers to get in. And the Optus CEO responded on radio this morning saying there were measures in place to protect the information.
What is of concern for us is how what is quite a basic hack was undertaken on Optus. We should not have a telecommunications provider in this country which has effectively left the window open for data of this nature to be stolen.
Well, you certainly don't seem to be buying the line from Optus that this was a sophisticated attack.
Well, it wasn't, so no.
What I can say is that our data was encrypted and we have multiple layers of protection. So it is not the case of having some sort of completely exposed API sitting out there.
Well, in New South Wales, the Customer Service Minister, Victor Dominello, is telling people informed by Optus they are part of the hack to apply for a new driver's licence. What next? Apply for new passports? What an extraordinary situation, Kieran.
It is extraordinary, no doubt, and as we said, the start of a lot more to come, including tighter national security legislation around telcos particularly. But let's look at...
Yeah, I think so.